That's somebody's child, that's somebody's husband, that's somebody's wife that's there.
Dozens and dozens of graves, some marked, many broken, with headstones hard to read.
The further you go, the tombstones are broken, they're knocked over, they're not visible.
Missy Billings says her father-in-law, a veteran, heard about this small cemetery on the corner of Falling Creek Road and Cedar Crest Road in Spartanburg County. With soldiers buried here, the family wanted to clean up the plots out of respect. The problem, tracking down the property owners.
My heart breaks. I mean, those are not just soldiers, they're World War II vets, but they're also human beings that somebody left. They wanted them to be cared for.
We decided to find out who owns this property, so we called Spartanburg County to take a look at the property tax records here, and we found out this land belongs to a local church just down the road here in Spartanburg County.
And we just want to do the right thing. We really do.
The cemetery belongs to the Forest Chapel CME Church in Spartanburg County. We got in touch with the current pastor, Reverend Linda Coates. She admits the church hasn't kept up with the property for 3 to 5 years.
And there are just so many other needs, so many other things. And when you are in a smaller church, you attend to the things that are immediate.
According to Coates, many former church members are buried here, and she says she'll take anyone willing to help recover this final resting place. Posting pictures, loading up on likes, and sharing those special moments. It seems like everyone is on social media for one reason or another.
I haven't gotten really any names yet.
And that includes the police.
Social media is very quick. We are trying as law enforcement to catch up with it.
Warner Robins Interim Police Chief John Wagner is the face and the fingers behind his department's Facebook page.
You can either embrace it or you get left behind.
While he doesn't spend the entire day scrolling through news feeds and scanning over profiles, he says staying social is helping his department solve crimes.
Whether we get a name or a location this person may be at, it's certainly helpful for us to clear cases, which is something that we didn't have 27, 28 years ago when I started.
And this department is clicking and clearing cases. Just this summer, Wagner says a Facebook tip led his investigators to this drug bust at a Motel 6 on Watson Boulevard. And simply posting this photo of a suspected shoplifter.
Within 40 minutes, I had a name, I had a location.
But social media isn't just solving crimes. The Bibb County Sheriff's Office says staying social is creating a better bond between deputies and the communities they serve.
Who would have known about this if it wasn't for social media?
Lieutenant Sean Defoe says the Bibb County Sheriff's Office has an entire team behind its social media platforms. That team is responsible for promoting programs, events, and special moments that don't always make the news.
We use social media as a way to communicate and connect with the community.
However, social media isn't perfect. Both departments say it has its drawbacks.
Sometimes it's disheartening to see things. It saddens me to see that now we live stream a shooting. I know that happened in Bibb County.
Wagner is talking about a few recent cases, like the murder of 20-year-old Tynesha Hammonds, who was shot and killed during a Facebook live stream, and another where deputies collected multiple videos of a Death Valley party that ended with the shooting deaths of DeRoderick Ridley and Gerald Penniman Jr.
That part is sad. You'll have 20 people videotaping an event and not one person stepping in and helping.
Another issue, Defoe says sometimes we share important information or videos in chats or neighborhood groups, and then we forget to share those tips with law enforcement or tag their pages, and that could be the right click to crack the case.
Oh, let me spend the rest of my life with my family. What about my family? It's gone. My family's gone.
Melissa Cole is referring to this couple, Jeremy and Christine Moody. With smiles, the two pleaded guilty to killing registered sex offender 59-year-old Charles Parker and his wife Gretchen Parker. And on their way to jail, they said they would kill again.
Killing that pedophile was the best day of my life.
Child molesters do not deserve to live.
The solicitor's office says the couple targeted the sex offender. They visited his home claiming they had car trouble. These surveillance photos show how they used a gun to order the couple inside. Investigators say the Moody's shot and stabbed them both to death. Now they will spend the rest of their lives behind bars.
If I want to make it into heaven, I have to forgive them for what they done to my aunt and uncle. But right now, I can't. I'm just glad that they would never see daylight.
The killing couple both claim to be part of an online hate group, Crew 41, but attorneys claim Jeremy Moody had mental conditions, and he was off his medication when he says God told him to avenge victims by killing sex offenders.
You never know what motivates somebody to do these sorts of things. Right. I think that there was probably some aspect of what Mr. Dest was saying, some grandiose vision of themselves as the Avengers.
Christine Moody's attorney told the judge she was a victim of rape and sexual assault.
I think Jeremy and I would have done it again if given the opportunity.
We checked with criminologist Dr. Reed Toth to see if being a member of a hate group has any impact when it comes to crimes like this one.
This was a very, very small, loosely formed group. This group existed primarily on the internet. For it to be that this group sort of caused them or encouraged them to do this is probably not the case.
In court, Moody's attorney says the killings had nothing to do with his ideas on race, but Moody and his wife admitted they are members of a white power online group based here in South Carolina. These Dublin High School students aren't in shop class building birdhouses. Instead, they are creating crosses. More than 400 crosses for this long-forgotten cemetery.
It's named Cross the Creek because it is Cross the Creek.
Cross the Creek Cemetery is an historic black cemetery established in 1906. The city of Dublin says it's the final resting place for more than 1,000 people of color.
When I first went out there, I was a little bit perturbed because it was not kept up like Northview Cemetery was. It was a city cemetery, so I figured it should have been kept up like Northview.
Former Dublin Mayor and City Councilwoman Julie Drigger first learned of the property in 2020. Bothered by what she saw, she went to City Hall and made it her mission to honor the memory of the people buried there.
I guess there were complaints at some time or another, but it has been an ongoing project to make sure that we secure and remember the people that are in Cross the Creek.
City crews cleared the grounds, planted trees, and paved a road to the site. But now the grave sites needed markers. And that's where these students stepped in. At Drigger's request, the city of Dublin purchased the supplies. They arrived in November, and since then, students have worked in classes before and after school to create crosses.
The people who were never mentioned or remembered, and it's like, it brings joy into my heart that we could be able to remember people. We don't even have to know anybody.
And as they labor, they are also taking in valuable lessons you can't always find in a book.
The white cemeteries, they have so much, and as we talking about the black cemetery, is nothing there, and we making crosses just to give back to the community.
The small crosses are made out of PVC material, a hard plastic, mostly used for pipes. They will be able to withstand the weather without needing to be replaced. And most importantly, they are now a symbol of how a town came together to honor all of its history.
Dublin is very rich in history, and we're proud of our history, but we need to make sure that this is part of it.